Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey, well, I know you're tired of hearing about this, but man, they really screwed the pooch with this Nick Chubb thing. They got all the analytics stuff, and they just seem to forget one thing, the human element, not only for the player involved, but also for the fan base. What would it hurt to bring Chubb in? Why do you always have to think of him as washed and that he's going to be the fourth guy in there and all that good stuff? Bring him in and let him work. Let him go to work and let him see where he stands. I don't understand this front office. All the public relations nightmares that they put this city through, and then they still keep making these huge mistakes. I mean, good grief. Chubb any day of the week over Ford any day of the week. Show like you got some brains instead of the stupid analytics stuff, which is so ridiculous. You can only depend on that to a certain point. But no, nobody thinks of the big picture here. Nobody thinks beyond the little narrow window that they see through.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Jeff, I get the fan base's affinity for Nick Chubb. But the one thing I would say, I don't think Nick Chubb wants to be a third back. And I think the front office realizes that. I think he's looking for a better opportunity. When they drafted Dylan Sampson, I thought that kind of told you. And Dylan Sampson, by all accounts, he could end up being really good. So I think there's a little bit of respect that the front office has shown Nick Chubb. We don't want to insult you and call you a third down, or the third back in a rotation.
Well, I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head here. This is always such a tricky thing, with players, that get to a certain age and their contracts have expired, and you're exploring whether or not, we're renewing as opposed to, maybe moving on. And I mean, you even think about this, and you have to keep positions in mind. You also have to keep players' health in mind. There's not much difference in age between Nick Chubb and Myles Garrett, but Nick Chubb happens to play the position that unfortunately does not have a long run in professional football. Nick Chubb has also been through not one, but two devastating injuries. And look, yes, the season ended last year with a broken bone in his foot, but before that, we all felt he kind of didn't look like the Nick Chubb we were all familiar with. 3.3 yards per carry. We're used to seeing Nick Chubb get closer to 5.3 yards per carry. And I don't think anybody wants to have Nick here. And again, have Nick here and, basically fighting for a roster spot or as a third or fourth running back. Well, guess what third and fourth running backs in the NFL do? They play special teams. They cover kicks. He'd have to earn his spot playing preseason games. These are all things that you just wouldn't really necessarily do. And, for whatever people getting on the Browns about this situation, it's been almost 2 months. Nick Chubb was free to sign with any team in the league at this point. So it's maybe not just necessarily what the Browns might be saying. It could also be what the rest of the league is saying in regards to Nick Chubb. And I think the other one of it is maybe nobody is in a rush to sign him because nobody, God forbid, wants to see him possibly get hurt again. And to the message that was left, I mean, I think Jerome Ford certainly gets a little disrespect here. I mean, he was crucial in 2023. And if you go back and you thumb through those numbers from last year again, I think Jerome Ford played a little bit better than most people think he did.
Yeah, and again, I get fans, I mean...
Oh, there's a loyalty. There's no question.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I get that, and I get it. Just the only thing I'd say, give Junkins and Sampson a chance to kind of earn the spot in your hearts that Nick Chubb has. That's the only thing I'd say.